Hello everyone, I'm GGian and this is Wales FM Fireside Chat with Artists. In this show, we talk about everything and anything art and crypto with designers and creators alike in the NFT space, otherwise known as non fungible tokens. Today, we're joined by Sander Jansen, who is a traditional and digital artist from the Netherlands. He has a unique insight into translating vivid emotions, expressions, and poses into highly detailed psychedelic digital artworks. Please enjoy. Hello, Sander. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Your microphone is perfect. Uh, so, first thing I gotta say is I didn't know your work. I had to do a bit of research because you're kind of new to the space, and I loved what I saw. I love your style, so
Thanks.
I'm really, really looking forward for the interview. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes. Thanks for having me.
So, one thing I want to know is what's your background in art? What did you use to do before getting into crypto art?
Well, I could go far back when I was a kid. I grew up with comic books because my father was a collector. I tried to draw them myself, but I have a hard time drawing the same character over and over again. And later, I started to draw in school to get through the boring classes, which was usually doodling tiny things on top of notebooks and not really serious art on piece of papers. And later, I, I kept doing this even in college. When I was in college in 2001, I really there's a really wide, broad education in design, mainly focused on interaction design. When I was there, I
Mm-hmm.
had a couple of lessons in 3D and had to make small animations. And when doing that, I've kind of fallen in love with creating 3D, which was in the program 3D Studio Max. And from there on, I learned myself how to use 3D, and that's a long way back. And
Mm-hmm.
from there on, I kind of went to pencil again to traditional works. And I think I've done pencil works in 10 years. Then I started using digital art again.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I went back and forth to traditional digital, and now I'm mainly working digitally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. This ties with a question that I had way farther, but I'm going to have to bring it here now because it it kind of makes sense. Is if you went on your crypto art to explore other styles, and I was going to ask if you wanted to explore 3D. So I'm very curious if you thinking of going that direction again.
Yes, I recently come back to do art for NFT, and I saw a lot of cool 3D animations. So it kind of itches to do 3D again. In 2008, I think it's the last time I used 3D
Mm-hmm.
because it was my job, but because of economic crisis, I couldn't find work, and I started to do web design to find a job. And I kind of lost my passion in 3D because I was already doing traditional art, and it somehow I couldn't go back to it. But now I see all those cool 3D animations, and I don't know, it feels like a new life for 3D. Because I remember in 2008, I was like, yeah, there's no work, and can I do with the 3D? But now I see so much possibilities. I think I will go back to it. I hope to.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
Yeah,
I,
I
ho- I,
even
ho-
have a 3D printer, so I still have to use it. But
oh wow, yeah, you could tie them together. That's nice.
yeah, yes.
So, what? programs do you use to create your art?
I mainly use Procreate nowadays. I used Photoshop before that, but I got myself an iPad and use Procreate most of the time. Create it.
All right. And also, how much time do each piece usually takes to be made?
Uh, that depends on the work. I got high detailed work. I remember a drawing I used to count the hours. It was maybe 100 hours, but it's usually between the 50 and 100 hours. A lot of
Oh
time.
wow, that's
Yeah.
quite a lot of hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I also got small designs for for head pins, and that could be maybe 30 hours, but it's usually a lot. I go, yeah, I put a lot of details in it, and I can't just stop creating. So, yeah,
Yeah, you have some pieces that are very intricate, so it must be a struggle to get everything right.
yeah, I lost sometimes, and later I look at it when it's finished. I think, oh, I've got to do that or this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I go from side to side, and I go totally into the details. And sometimes I created something and without knowing I changed it, and later I look at it and I did that or that. I couldn't remember it. It's pretty funny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but so this is something that I when I see something like your work, I'm very curious on the creative process side. If you have, when you start, do you have a vision of what the finalized work will look like, or you kind of just have fun with it and see where it go?
I usually sometimes I have a global idea or a title in my head or an emotion, and I just start. But the end result, I never know it. It's I just think, oh, I'm gonna use a skull in my art, and I go work on it, and it changes all the time. And no, I don't know what the result will be. So for me, it's just an adventure. I just start doing. Yeah.
All right, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah, and relaxing also. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if it's usually I draw a line and then I wander off, but because I see a face, and while drawing that another face, I see another face or a creature, and I keep going and going, and sometimes I have to stop myself because people won't see it so small. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
So on your interactions with other artists on the space, I want to know, who do you admire the most?
Uh, I don't know. There's a lot of great artists, and maybe I have an image in my mind while you ask this question, but I don't know who it is. And there's so many of them. It's hard to choose. Yeah, it's really hard to choose the one I admire the most, I think. But there's an artist that recently joined doing crypto, and I already liked his art. It's Alex Pardee. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Pardee, Alex. Well, he joined Maker's Place maybe a month ago. I don't know.
Hmm.
And I remember years ago somebody said, "Van your style reminds me of Alex Pardee." So I went to check him out, and yeah, I really loved his art. So I bought the book instantly, and since then I follow him.
You guys have similar art styles.
Yes, he draws monsters, and he's inspired by 80 movies, and I love yeah, horror movies. So yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So I suppose maybe you have the same answer for this one. If you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be?
Yeah, I think that would be him. Yes, if he wants to, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I never know.
yeah, I'm doing a lot of collaborations, so that's who knows. I kind of like to collaborate because
Oh, you're doing lots of collaborations?
uh, yeah, I did when I was working with pencils. I did they call it exquisite corpse, where you draw
Mhm.
one half of a page, and I joined a group of exquisite corpses in maybe 2008. I don't know, and great artists around the world, and I draw the half of the page, covered it, and only a small strip to see, and I mailed it to someone, and he finished the other side, and then uncovered it, and then it's really cool to see the result, what people do with it. And I've done that for years, and uh, now I work with. I joined this last year with the Pink community and a lot of digital artists, and I'm trying to do a lot of collaborations with them. And I hope to show something soon. It's almost finished, but it's really fun to, especially with Procreate. I can send the file, and they can work on it and can send it back and back and
Mhm.
forth, and really works well.
That's really convenient.
Yeah.
No, but this method, like you say to draw like half, and then they draw other half.
Yeah. Well,
Do,
with
do you
digital,
do you
it's
never
done
get
like
like you never get unsatisfied with the end result?
uh, no, not really. One time I had a part and I didn't like it, and it was on my desk for a year watching me, and I was watching back and think, I need to finish it, but I don't like my part. And after a year, and I started to pick it up again, and somehow it changed it because of pencil. You can erase some parts,
Mhm.
and yeah, till now I always liked the parts. Maybe I had a piece that maybe started in 2013 and finished. It was finished by the other artist only last year, so they were 7 years apart.
Oh
That
my
was weird
god.
to see. That was really weird to see because I haven't touched a pencil in a year, and that was already 7 years old.
Uh huh.
That was weird, but I didn't even know what I'd have drawn on that side, so that was pretty cool to see.
That must be a crazy experience. Like
Yeah, yeah,
your style can change so much in that time, you know.
yeah.
And then like, oh, that's crazy. I love it. So, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. What's your single most favorite NFT?
Do you mean of myself or?
I mean, if it's from yourself that it's your favorite, that would be fine as well. But it can be anyone, really.
Uh, well, I don't know. For myself, I think this the last one I finished. That's called The Dawn of Perception. That's some digital artwork, and I decided to animate it for the crypto world because it's just an opportunity to make art to animate. So I think that will be the one because it feels like it's a new path to go to when I'm creating digital art. I think maybe can animate it for yeah for the web for Maker's Place or other sites I am on. So yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. It's very good.
thank you. Thank you.
So like when I look at this work, I wonder, do you have like specific color palette that like you favorite?
Yes, I usually use psychedelic colors, mainly pink and cyan and purple.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I always use them. Sometimes a bit of yellow, but I always start with purple, blue, cyan, and yeah, I don't know why. I like the combination.
No, it definitely works. Yeah. So, on that note, what sort of emotions are you trying to evoke with your pieces?
Uh, yeah, it depends on the work, and also when you look at it, uh, yeah, it's when I draw and I'm in some kind of uh, yeah flow, and I'm angry, I draw more angry faces, or if I'm happy, I draw more happy faces. So it depends on how I feel, I think. And also, I like to create all kinds of emotions in a work. So when somebody starts looking at it, and another time he looks at it, he feels something completely different because he sees different faces in it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's depending on the state of mind during the creative process. So yeah, yeah,
So you revisit pieces and then you like find new emotions there.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I see things in my own art and I can't remember creating them. So yeah, for me it's also a surprise sometimes.
That's fun.
Yeah, really. But I also like to yeah hide messages, or yeah, I don't know. I remember when I was a teenager, I had a poster on my wall. I think it was Geiger, and I could look at it, and I kept seeing new things, and I really loved looking at it and finding new creatures or yeah monsters. I think that really had an influence on me.
Hmm. What draws you towards the psychedelic motifs?
Um, well, the detail, lots of details. I like to create art where the viewer keeps detecting new faces, creatures, or hidden messages. And like I said, people often see different things and feel different kinds of emotions while looking at it. So I think, that's what draws me to it. So you can keep looking at it and see new things, and yeah, like a journey through the art work,
Hmm. Hmm.
if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. It does make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Do you have any sneak peeks of projects that you're currently working on that you could share with us?
Yes, I got one on my Twitter. It's of the logo of Ethereum. I recently posted. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Oh, I see it now. Yes, I do.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on. I had the idea, I saw the logo, and I think I could do something with it. And I started a challenge, so I'm not sure how it will go, but I like it so far, the colors and the things that popping up while working on it. I hope to animate it or do more with it. So yeah,
Hmm. I see the cyan and purple here
yeah,
as well.
that's right.
So
Yes,
very on brand.
yes.
I love it.
Thank you, thank you.
So this is an interesting one because when you talked about taking 50 to 100 hours each piece, I thought to myself like, well, I didn't expect cartoon to take that long. What are some common misconceptions, such as this one that I had, that people have about cartoonish designs?
Well, I don't hear much misconception, but I think that it's maybe too simple, or that but there aren't deep emotions in it. That's just more for fun. I think that's more, yeah. But I use it a completely different way. I could, yeah, maybe because of the cartoonish designs, I can add a lot of details because of it. But I'm not sure what the misconceptions people have, more than
Yeah.
simple maybe. or maybe not real art. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just didn't expect to take it that long, but it's how you say it. Like the more you look, the more you find, and that's just like it's so intricate. Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
total
it's like
sense.
carving something. It's like a rock, and you carve, and you see another face, and you keep working. And maybe if you see the result and you start doing the result instantly, it will be much faster. But it's the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on my maker's place, I also have artwork called "Let It Flow," and that's one what's really high detailed one.
Yeah, I have it here right now.
So yeah, you can keep looking at it and see things and yeah.
So, although pencil is your main tool of trade, I know that you have been experimenting with ink and paint too. So, what are the differences when creating highly detailed pieces, and what are the advantages and disadvantages for each one?
Uh, well, I really liked 3D because I could, for instance, undo my actions or rearrange because I was changing it all the time, and that's the same with pencil. I was back then a really big perfectionist, so I had a hard time starting because with ink it's like, oh no, it's wrong and it's blocking my creativity. And with pencil I could keep drawing, and if it was not what I like, I could erase it and go back and forth. And it's the same with digital work. I don't have to think about if it's going to mess up or. And I think with ink, I tried ink and not that much, but it stresses me more than like pencil or digital art.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also how my style kind of started. I had an idea in my head. I started on paper, and it never felt good. So it kind of blocked me creating my ideas. And after a while, I thought, you know what? I just start drawing lines without a result in my head, and somehow I started see things in it, and I kept going. And maybe I'm 15 years from now. Yeah, it's I'm used to it to draw that way and add some animals things to it sometimes. But yeah, my fear of kind of make my style. I think I just go with the flow and see what happens, and
Yes,
yeah,
yes. The methodology kind of is entangled with the end result. I see that.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes I try to draw anatomy and other skills, but I get really bored fast. So if I try to draw human, I draw more legs, or I can't just start. I can't just draw normal things. I guess I get bored really fast. I have the books, but yeah, it's not my thing, I guess.
I'm just looking through this and like, yeah, there's some monotony here for sure.
Yeah, is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's quite cool. So when did you dabble into animations and animating your
What did you
work?
say?
When did you started working with animations?
That would be maybe 2005, maybe. But yeah, 15 years ago, I think. When I was doing 3D design, and I was also a 3D animator, that job. I think then, but I kind of lost it in 2008. So maybe I did 4 years. and now I'm using Procreate. I kind of started to animate again. They did an update last year, so you can make frames, and that's how I got back to it. But I also hope to use Blender and do 3D again if I have more time. So
Mm-hmm. So you let the pieces, for example, let it flow
yes.
and join the club. Remind me of a kaleidoscope, an optical instrument with reflecting surfaces that project regular symmetrical patterns. Did you have any influences on your work? And like, was that the look that you're going for?
For Let It Flow, now it's yeah. In Procreate, you have an option to make symmetry. So if you draw left, you get right, get mirrored. And I just start drawing lines, and because of the mirror effect, it creates extra things. Yeah, it's. But I was like, I gonna create this work, or well, it just happens. I think, yeah.
I'm getting lost into it. So more on the crypto art space. How do you want to be positioned in it in five
I
years? What do
like
you think it will look like?
to keep developing my style. Maybe 3D to do that more 3D animation in the style I'm doing now, not in the past. It's a bit different. And I hope to live off my art, because that's my dream, to create and no worries and just create. And yeah, and I think the crypto world is, yeah, a really great world to work in. I see so many good things. Also, I recently saw crypto voxels, some kind of world where you can walk through. I would love to do something with that, or yeah, so many things.
Yeah.
I think it would, yeah, it's the future.
I'm just so curious about what your 3D work will look like, because like if you bring this style to 3D, it must add so much more to look for on something that already had
I
so
don't know if I
much.
have my
That's
old
great.
3D on my website. I think not. Yeah, it's a bit different, but yeah, I wonder. I hope to learn learn it again. It's so a long time ago, but if I just go with the flow and mold a head with all tentacles, so I think it's gonna be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So here on Close Your Window, você have this you have this very interesting cute blob with this storyline that says mating season and they are looking for love. Some blobs are still single, so you should close your windows before they come in and make a mess. Where do you come up with those storylines? Oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes I just draw something and I think, ah, it's so cute, and I look at it and it just pops up some story, and yeah, I think I had more stories like that. Also one with that I was that the, that was a, I think it was spring. It was a beautiful day, and I made a drawing that was going outside with a blob with all kind of creatures in it. And it was like they going outside and have fun, and finally left the cellar. And some dark humor I had.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's just popping up. It's not like fun. Oh, I'm gonna draw a blob in mating season. I just draw a blob and I look at it and it comes some story and yeah, it's really fun to do. And
At the same time that no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
it's funny that you mentioned that one. And
Oh, it's a
I'm looking
super
at it.
fun one. I'm like, this guy must be
Thank
a
you.
writer as well.
Thank you. No, not really. Ah.
So you depict a few distressful feelings as well, but in general, I kind of have this wholesome vibe coming from your pieces. Is this like intended?
What do you mean? What kind of vibe?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
What kind of vibe does my work have?
Wholesome vibe.
Wholesome vibe. Um, I don't know.
No, you
Well,
disagree. You disagree. It's all right. No, but I just look at the blob. The blob's so happy, you know. I mean, it
oh,
gives
you
me
mean it's
a warm
so
feeling.
happy? Well, it's funny. Since I'm drawing more digitally, it's more happy work. I think. But when I was drawing with pencil, it was more gray and dark, and my works were also more dark. I don't have them on the makerspace, but I don't know. Maybe I jumped in another chapter in life and went more for colors and happiness. But also some works are more dark. But especially, I think, yeah, uh, I'm looking at it and not everything is happy. But yeah.
No, yeah, not everything is happy. I agree. It's just like the overall theme. I get more positive than negative for sure.
Ah. Thank you.
I love how most of your pieces kind of have this motivational slash inspirational background to it, like twisted harmony about balancing chaos and harmony and like keep going, which is a digital painting about perseverance. So this is like an inspirational quote, but made it visually. Is that what you're going for?
Uh, Keep on going is a remake of a painting I did with watercolors, and it was yeah I wanted to create some surreal creature that yeah had to go through a lot of bad stuff, but also just keep going, and it's also sort of yeah positive vibe. Yeah, it's a motivating painting. If I look at it, I think yeah life can suck, but you have to go through it, and it will be better. It's just yeah positive vibe. So yeah. And the other one with the chaos, yeah, I think well my sometimes my work looks like chaos, but I'm very chaotic myself, so yeah. It's yeah, if you look at my computer, all my drawings are everywhere, and it's one mess. Sometimes I have a file that calls Final 1, Final 2, Final 3, and Final 3B. And at
Final
that
three.
moment, at that moment, I think, oh, it's all right, I can remember. And I look a year later and I think, what the fuck? What's the last file I get? Yeah.
Yes. So this is the thing. Like every single artist, they will always like to ask them, how do you tell something is finalized? How do you let go? Do you struggle with this?
Uh, yeah, it's always difficult. Sometimes it just pops up. Okay, usually I think okay, one day of work, and then I'm already a week further. So I'm always have to do more than I think. So I keep going and keep going, and yeah, I think it's never finished. But I just have too many ideas and think, okay, I can't do it better than this, and I'm okay with it. It feels good. I think it's a feeling. Okay, now it's ready. But if I want, could go on and on and on. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's finished. Maybe I think it's finished when I post it on the internet. But okay, this is
Yeah,
it, title, and now I can't go back and change it. I think that's it.
that's when it's finished.
Yeah. Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So on this piece, Count Silent, you seem to have let go of the black outline to your curves. Does this have any sort of meaning behind it?
Um, well, it was a sort of experiment. I wanted to draw more like a real paint and not less cartoony, so it was more of an experiment. But it was also a dark time at that moment. The title "Silent" is like you get terrible news and you just don't know what to say or think. And at that moment, I was experimenting and getting terrible news. So it's kind of merged together, and somehow I didn't try it much again. I think it's yeah, also trying out Procreate without lines and brushes, and yeah, I really love the result of this one. Yeah, brings a lot of emotion if you look at it. But I'm not sure what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty subtle. This is
Yeah,
like more subtle than your other pieces. I feel like.
yeah, it's a little bit more dark or sad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, having grown up in the Netherlands, has your culture influenced your work?
I'm not sure.
It can be no. It can be no. Okay, you can you can say no. It's fine.
Think, hmm. But maybe somewhere.
Well, and we broke Sander Jansen.
Sorry. I don't know.
How was the experience of being a web designer priming you like into being an artist? Like, did you used any sort of knowledge? Did it did you did you manage to use all of your skill sets?
Well, it was really like a job to pay rent, so it was. I didn't really like it. It was more of, well, I can do web design. It was mostly the technical part too, so not much of design.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't have a choice because I couldn't find work in 3D. That was my passion job to do, and it was mere. I was like, when I could work in a factory or I could work web design, and that's much more interesting. But I couldn't. I can remember I had to do some designs, and they told me I was too creative because I just went crazy with the designs, and it was for normal companies, so they couldn't use it. So that was pretty weird. They said, "When you're too creative to create." So yeah, I don't
That
know
must
about
have hurt.
boundaries. Yeah, a little bit, but I couldn't understand what they meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
More focus on web design because it just doesn't feel right. Using so much time designing or doing technical things. Well, even my own website, I hate just updating my own website. Well, I was a web designer, so that's when I was home. I was like, I just want to create art, and yeah, not web design. But it's but I can use it for my website, so that's a plus, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that you know how to do. Why not, right? So,
I even tried. One of my first websites was even in 3D. I tried. I made a 3D setting and tried to in Flash back at the time to animate it, and a lot of work, months of work, and but it was really hard to update in Flash. Nowadays it's much easier, but I think web design is also it's all blocks. It's yeah, look all the same to me than in the past when they have Flash and it was yeah yeah.
so your art has been present in quite a few exhibitions in the past, like Studio Fest 2016 and Exquisite Corpse exhibition in 2012. Which exhibition experience was your favorite?
Uh, well, Fest was it was more a music festival, and I could hang my art, and it just went watching bands and drink beer. So it was really fun because I could go backstage with a friend, and I think that was a really great experience. But people, I didn't see much people look at my art because I wasn't there, so I'm not sure if it was a good exhibition for me. But I also did an exhibition in Amsterdam in a coffee shop, and that was really great. It was really small coffee shop, and yeah, that was it was a great experience.
Not because of the art, though.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. So I would like to have the last few minutes be available for the audience to ask questions. So
Yeah,
everyone, if you guys are curious, Sander Jansen, hopefully open to answer your questions.
I hope so. Ready?
Let me take a look if we already have. We have one here from Evo. Possible Netherlands folklore creatures in the future. Is it possible?
It's not on my mind really. It could happen. Maybe there are some. I don't know of, but no, I didn't really think of it. No.
Someone asked J Team, could you senderize the whale logo?
He follows my Twitter. The whale logo, yeah, maybe it's. Well, I wanted to do maybe the Bitcoin after the Ethereum logo, but I'm open to it. I think it will be fun.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be amazing.
That will be cool.
I'm gonna take a look at it here again. So many eyes. Always so many eyes.
Yeah, I hear it a lot that I draw a lot of eyes, but I always think there are just a lot of faces with eyes, not just eyes.
Hmm. Yeah, I suppose, yes. Yeah, someone described why do I feel wholesome, and I think I get this wholesome vibe, and I really agree. I think it's the colors and the eyes. So many
Yeah,
tiny little eyes.
yeah, cool. Yeah.
No, this piece is so sad. This artwork is about being confused because reality seemed different than expected.
Uh, oh wait, yeah. Look at it. That's a while ago. Yeah.
What advice would you give to new artists coming into the space? And alternatively, what advice, in your personal opinion, would you recommend them not to take?
My advice is because I'm a perfectionist. I think I would think just go for your own style. Just not copy only copy others or think when I have to do that because that's popular. And also think if you're down with your art, you don't you only fail your art if you quit your art. As long as you go on, it's not failure. You can learn from it. So yeah, be positive about it, and every new work will be better. And negative advice you have to ignore is people would say for maybe it's not a real job or yeah, I think that people think art is just a hobby or that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's such a great advice. Actually,
Thank you.
the you only fail your art if you quit it. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you. Just go on, work, create. It's fun and have fun with it,
Mm-hmm.
and not only the result. Or if yeah, ignore the likes. People on social media, you always have the likes and that kind of things, and yeah, it's all based on algorithm and not how good the art is. Just
Mm-hmm.
do what you love, and you will get there. Maybe.
Hopefully.
I'm not sure if I'm there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, never know.
I'm
This
still
is
trying. I'm still trying. So.
yeah, always forever. This is one from me. Have you done or considered doing comics?
uh, yeah. When I was a kid, I read comics, but I've thought of it, but I couldn't just draw the character the same. It's always changing, so I kind of give up on it. The idea I had a head of yeah, a character, and I have to draw it, and maybe after 2 pages, it completely deformed. Or so no, I couldn't do it. So that's why maybe I got a lot of characters in my artworks because I love creating new ones every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you just have to do a story on an amorphic character, so it's
Yeah,
supposed to look different every time. You know, this is
yeah,
what the blobs are for.
yeah, yeah. I had also work Wily Wiggle Face. That was about a blob that I wrote a story. He lives a couple blocks away. Every time when it's a bit windy outside, his head starts to wiggle and deform into another shape. He smiles a lot, but nobody recognizes him as he looks different every day. So even when he looks happy, he's miserable inside and lonely. So it's a bit dark.
Oh my
It's
god!
about it's about a blob that deforms when it's windy, and
Oh
that's
my
probably my
god!
style too.
Yes, yes, for sure. That's amazing. So, do you have like some artistic movements or artists from the past that you have learned the most from, like old masters?
um, I don't know. I think I think a lot of things could have inspired me. Maybe movies, cartoons, also artists. Uh, I love looking at it, but I'm not sure if there's one that really Like you also have Hieronymus Bosch, a Dutch painter from the Middle Ages, um, medieval times, I think, a long time ago. Bosch, yeah, he draws a lot of stories in one painting. That's an inspiration, but there's so much. I don't know.
No, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of information there.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Oh,
it.
one thing I really was inspiration for me was Ren and Stimpy. I really love the expressions on the faces and the zoom ins and. Do you know that cartoon, Ren and Stimpy?
This one, I no, I don't know.
Oh, that's I really loved it. It's like a bit dark, but yeah, should check it out. It's about a cat and a dog that live together, and yeah, the faces and expressions. I love it.
So yeah, I was just going to ask which cartoons did you draw the most inspiration from? So
That will be Ren and Stimpy. Yeah.
oh, I gotta search that.
And recently, I really like Adventure Time. That's crazy.
It's fun. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a bit yeah. So and recently also what was it? Midnight Gospel.
Oh, I love that. I
Really
love that
cool.
so much. Yeah.
I was when I'm watching that first time. They talked a lot, but I was only looking at the visuals all the time. Couldn't follow the story or the podcast behind it. But I really love it.
I love it so much. I really do. And it's like it's funny because the drawing is basically done separately, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tiny details that are happening there, and so it's like it doesn't even matter if you
No.
don't see, but if you do see, you're gonna feel something very special.
Yeah. It's crazy. You can watch it multiple times, I think, because there's a lot of stuff happening, and yeah.
Hmm. So, what are the difficulties of trying to portray a whole story in one picture? Would you ever create pieces where the story is separated into different frames, where they're like segmented?
Um, I think they all flow together in my work. Um,
So you think you don't have additional challenge for the storyline on a frame?
a challenge?
You don't think it's challenging because like you portray storylines, you
Yes.
and like yeah, I mean, I was just wondering like is it difficult or just like for you it's like that's how you do it and whatever.
I don't think it's difficult. I draw and I have ideas in my head, and sometimes a title comes up and I work with it. I just can start something, and sometimes it just blocks and I never work on it again. And sometimes it just go and go and create. It evolves into a story. And sometimes I finish the piece and I'm like, well, what did I do? And I look at it and then I see story in it. So yeah, I don't think it's really difficult for me.
That's fair. That's fair. So this is a really hard one, really hard one. I think it's fair to call it the closing one. What's your ultimate goal as an artist?
My ultimate goal. Um, Not sure. Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking. my ultimate goal is to keep creating and get better in my style. Um, yeah, follow my dream of being a full-time artist. I think that's my ultimate goal or dream.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I really hope you succeed. I'm in love with your work, man.
Thank you, thank you. It's kind of you.
Just like it mesmerizes me. It's quite cool.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear
So,
that.
what? I'm sorry.
I'm happy to hear that. That it mesmerize. I love to hear that people can look at it and see things and keep looking at it and just get time
Mm-hmm.
passes by and think, oh, I'm already watching a half hour, still discovering
No, yeah,
things.
it's a bunch of things. I relate so badly to a lot of stuff that you talked about, and on which a few of them are like I love the psychedelic stuff, and and I love that your workflow, and this is something that I always struggled when trying to create art, is like I don't seem to be capable to committing to one idea, and it always change. And but then like you go like, yeah, so I go like this all the time, and it simply works. And I have this finalized thing that is cohesive. It's beautiful, and it's even inspirational. So it's just like really nice to hear. Really, I love it.
Yeah, if I have an idea completely in my head, somehow it could take years to finish or so. I don't like it. But if I go and start and I think, well, I'll see what happens, or I have a global idea like a logo or a skull
Mm-hmm.
or face, yeah, it just flows. And yeah, it's for me also a surprise what it will be. And that's a really lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's super nice. That's super nice. I love to hear like you doing your thing, you having fun, the end result is cool. So it's win win really, and I really
Yeah,
hope you succeed on your goal of being a full time
thank you.
artist. And yeah, so everyone, this was Sander Jansen.
Thank
Joined
you.
us for the fireside chat. I really enjoyed my time. I hope you
Yeah,
did as well, Sander. Do you have
yeah.
any closing thoughts?
Nou, I hope you could follow me, my Dutch accent. I don't speak much English, so it wasn't. This is also a challenge. So, but I'm happy that people had questions and like my art. Yeah, thank you
Oh,
for listening.
you speak so much better than I do. Oh my God, what are you
No,
talking about? Embarrassing me,
no,
Jesus.
no, I don't.
It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everyone here is understanding, and we understand. We understood everything. Really,
uh,
it's perfect.
happy to
So,
hear that. Yeah,
thank you so very much again, and
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
enjoy the new year.
Yeah, yeah. Happy New Year, and thank you for having me in this opportunity. Yeah, it's fun.
It was fun, and it was a
Yes.
pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the audience as well. Thank you for the
Yeah.
amazing questions that you guys had. And yeah, definitely check out his social media. I will be posting the links shortly. Uh, Definitely take a look, leave a few likes. And yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you
Bye
well.
bye, everyone. Oh, no, yeah, go ahead.
Um, yeah, if you're interested in the exquisite corpses, the pencil ones, you have to look at my website. I have one-page collaborations, and I think I posted them all the results. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They're
we got
not on
it.
my maker. They're not on my maker's place or Twitter or.
Yeah, we got it there on your website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.